things change so rapidly, and things are becoming so intense, and things are so passionate today that something has to happen. Like I don't have a shred of doubt right now that we're in the end times.
A mysterious light hovering over the valley, giving a few folks in Mesa quite the thrill, but explaining what you're seeing on your screen, that is a little bit more difficult. ABC 15's Cameron Polam is on the hunt for answers tonight.
It was about straight up over here, and it went straight that way.
Stopped.
From outside their Mesa home, DJ Mayer and Carrie Burnett shot this video Sunday around 9 p.m.
And it started kind of moving diagonal across, trying to figure out which way it was heading. And as it did, that's when we noticed it started dropping things from it.
The object, captured on 2 cell phones, looks like a bright orb hovering silently in the sky, every few moments dropping what looks to be flares towards the ground.
And it wasn't just us. Our neighbors next door, they were out. They weren't even filming. They were more in amazement, like statues just sitting there watching it.
DJ immediately posted the video to Facebook, and the comments rolled in, but none had an explanation for what they were seeing.
When Jesus' disciples asked him for signs on the end times, he pointed to the days of Noah.
Look, the marrying and giving in marriage is not a high divorce rate, as I used to think. It's that people were starting families and looking forward to the future, even though there was such moral decay around them, and the ceiling was about to fall, and so it was a false optimism.
Oh, stench is awful.
Many of you will have seen on social media a video going around of an incident on Anglesey where numerous starlings have been killed. I mean, many starlings. We don't know how it's happened, but I'll show you the scene. So we're just outside Bodnetar here by Llyn Lake, and as you can see on the road here, there's approximately 225 dead starling on the road itself, and many others along the hedge on either side of the road. No starling apparent in the fields on either side, which is very strange. So we got officers now from the Animal and Plant Health Agency here who are going to seize some of these starlings with a view to having them examined for looking for poison, for example, or looking for any other thing that might have killed these animals. So it's happened yesterday evening at about 20 to 4 p.m. So if you have any information, if you might have seen anything happening here, because it's very strange, please let us know.
Millions of young Americans today believe they are living in the last days. The second coming is near. In megachurches like Guts Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the message of Revelation is being preached in all new ways. The book of Revelation is perfectly clear. God will condemn non-believers to eternal hell and bless believers with everlasting life.
Report from the International Union of Conservation of Nature warns the world's oceans are struggling to breathe. It is the largest report of its kind.
Scientists are calling this the ultimate wake-up call to humanity. Why? Well, the ocean represents 97% of the physical, habitable space on the planet. It is central to sustaining all life on Earth. The report found the loss of oxygen from the world's ocean is increasingly threatening fish species such as tuna, marlin, and sharks. This is a different sort of effect which we might not have considered before.
Correct. So it's a different type of crisis. It's the crisis of the ocean.
And it talks about different zones. Now, is that in different parts of the world? Is that at different levels of the sea? Tell us how it actually then affects the marine life in turn.
Okay, so what we're seeing, or what we've seen, is actually a decline in 2% of the global oxygen level. They have been reduced by 2%. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but just these two small changes will have enormous implications. So those oxygen-rich and which are favorable conditions to some species will shrink. These are shrinking, these habitats. but also we are altering the energy and biochemical cycles within the ocean. So this is all those different parts of the puzzles are coming together. We're already seeing the changes.
And it started actually in Genesis chapter 4, where it says, in the days of Enosh, the men began to call on the name of the Lord. The Jewish sages said that this is actually the beginning of idolatry, that man started calling other things by God. It's not some positive development. And from that came the rampant sexual immorality, the lawless violence, and God looked down. These rebellious angels came, started mating with women, creating mutants, and God looked down, and the whole world was chaos. In creation story, he looks down, it's all good, now it's all corrupt. And we see the moral decay and the fallout from it ever since by saying we came from the animals, and using Darwin as some sort of scientific excuse to walk away from any moral accountability to God. And it is a violation of the one command, the one condition of the Noahide covenant that we were supposed to keep. Respect each other, treat each other with dignity, even yourself, because we're the thing in creation that's most like him. Through Darwinian thinking, people think there's no God, or even if there is one, I could have done a better job than God in creating the world. And when you feel you are morally superior to God, or your worldview includes an ideological commitment to things that are abomination to God, this is where we are, then you have moved beyond repentance, and God's only recourse is to judge us. But if his spirit is still striving with you and me, and we still feel conviction when we do things that don't please him, and we still feel that unction to follow godly standards, then there's good news here. God is preserving us, a righteous remnant in the earth, for the new messianic age to come when Jesus himself is here.
Don't forget that to contact me for any reason, you can find me on Facebook by searching for Curtis Minister Roach. Minister Curtis Roach. Or our page, The End Time Watchman. Just leave me a message and I'll reply at my earliest. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel and be blessed by the hundreds of videos available to you. Please feel free to share any video to help us spread the good news of Jesus Christ. You can also follow me on Twitter at Roach_Curtis. Should the Lord continue to tarry, see you next time. God bless.
Sound the trumpet now. Hear the Father says, is coming. Don't get left behind. Don't get left behind. The rapture is coming. Don't get left behind. Don't get left behind.